Good morning, everybody. So, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what the Suquelish Republic is and is not, because for some, um, they think it's a sovereign citizen movement, and actually, that is further from the truth. So, what exactly is it then? Well, it's redefining who a people is. What makes a culture a culture? When we look at the word nation, it's simply defined as a group of people, or sometimes a large group of people, depending on the dictionary term you use, from what dictionary you use, that are brought together by a common bond, heritage, language, or history. So when we look at what a nation is, the nation is the people, so it's peoplehood. So essentially, when I say we've created a parallel system or nation, I'm talking about that we deliberately and purposely created a new nation, a whole new people. We have our own language, our own customs, our own courtesies, our own traditions. And though we do give things out like identification cards, those are only good within our own internal system. And we do have internal courts that rule on matters inside our own internal system. A sovereign citizen movement, they try to argue that the government doesn't apply to them. They don't have to follow the law. They don't have to be what they would call a straw man, or their terminology, right? So they literally believe that the rule of law doesn't apply to them and that they're free peoples. The Suquelish Republic, we don't think that. We're not part of the sovereign citizen movement. Our movement was solely on creating an entirely new culture, an entirely new people. Okay? And yes, we do have a government system that operates in the internal structure, and our government, how it operates is we pass rules, laws, and regulations regarding the conduct of our members, or our citizens, and the heritage, history, language, because we have a very unique language. We actually have our own unique language. It's called Suquelish, Suquelish, or sometimes called Suquelinese, or sometimes Suquis. You'll hear it by all those names. So essentially what we have created is basically a parallel system, and we do have our own money. So from the outside, I understand that people are like, oh, they're trying to break away, they're trying to be their own thing, they're trying to be sovereign. But here's the thing about how the money works. It doesn't replace United States dollars. It's a complementary currency, or also known as a mutual exchange credit system. And it works within a closed network. And that closed network is people who agree to use it. So if business A, who is a baker, said they would use it, but business B, who is a motorcycle repair shop, says they will not use it, then I could only use it at business A, because business A said they would exchange it as if it was actual cash that I'd be able to use to pay for the product or services, or to exchange it for a product and service. So it's creating an internal loop. Now, this is the same concept as a community currency, and it operates not just within our own network, but for everybody. If anybody outside of the republic that we started, outside our culture we started, wanted to do it, they would have just as much access to using our credit system as well, to broaden and strengthen the local community. by using a complementary currency. And so we do have like a private bank of sorts. So we are not outside the law. We never said we were outside the law. We never claimed to be outside the law, and we also never claimed to be a state. But what we do claim is to be a nation, a unique nation that is purposely created on purpose. It's been a progression moving forward. We started this April 12th, or sorry, not 12th. I was April 1st, 2012. So April 1st, 2012, and we've been doing it ever since. So it's been 14 years that we've been doing this. So essentially, we're not a micronation because we're not trying to duplicate the realities of a state. We're not trying to, declare ourselves sovereign. So that's a micronation, right? And then you have sovereign citizen movement. We're not that either, but what we are is a complete and totally unique culture. So we have our own music, our own art, our own dress, traditional dress. We have our own language. We have our own flag to represent our cultural nationhood, our peoplehood. We have our own internal governance system that regulates only the people. Everything is voluntary. You're not forced into it. This is a voluntary system. If you want to be part of it, great. If you don't, great. So that is hopefully set aside the sovereign citizen / sovereign movement ideology that people think that the Suquelish Republic is, because we are not a sovereign citizen movement, and we're not claiming to be sovereign, but what we are claiming to be is a distinct and unique culture, even if done on purpose by design over the last 14 years, creating traditions, customs, custom holidays, custom timekeeping records, custom calendars. When I say custom calendar, you guys on the outside world, you guys operate in a 7-day week. The Suquelish Republic operates in 10-day weeks. It makes the calendar perfectly mathematical. Everything happens the exact same day, the exact same time every single month. There's no jumping around like on the Gregorian calendar that everybody else is on. So we got a perfect 10-day week because we added 3 additional days. And then the only month that is different is September. September has 31 days. And then there's a float period between the end of the year and the first of the new year. 4-day grace period. 5 days if it's a leap year, that account for all the other missing days that would not be on the calendar. They're not part of the official time-keeping system. So when we leave the old year, then we have those additional days that, even though they're counted in everybody else's traditions, in our tradition, it's a period of rest. No business to be conducted, no nothing. It's solely, those few days are solely designed for nothing but family and reflection. And when we say reflection, like reflection on how we could do things better, both as a culture and as a people, an individual and as a family and as a community, and what we could do to better the community we live in, and how we could make the community we live in better within the host nation laws, because we respect the laws of the host nation. So we're not trying to go break laws. We're not trying to say we're above the law. We're just setting ourselves aside as a unique and interesting cultural people that we've purposely designed on purpose. And so this is not a sovereign citizen movement. This is an entirely new autonomous civilization building aspect. So when I say civilization building, I'm not talking obviously about because the civilization we live in all over the world when we talk about civilization, we're talking about a cultural people set apart. So that is to address the issue. So that is what the Suquelish Republic is. We are not associated with sovereign citizens, and we are not associated with a sovereign movement. We are, however, if we were to use the word sovereign, then we would be sovereign in our own right, internally, with our own internal codes and our own internal things that govern the aspects we talked about earlier, such as our history, our language, our culture, the bylaws on how people are supposed to act. And we respect the host nation. So we have that soft power to govern ourselves within our own internal system. And by the way, that is totally legal. There's nothing illegal about that. Groups have the right to regulate their own internal structures and maintain their own internal governance. So even when we talk about that, that's nothing scary. That's nothing to be like, oh my gosh, because we have nothing to hide. We're transparent, and there's nothing to hide from either you, the people of whatever host nation or country or state you belong to, and / its government. So that is that. And also, we regulate ourselves as a distinct and unique religious people, because everybody in our society who decides to become members not only have to learn how to read, write, and speak our language and adhere to the observance of all of our traditions and everything of that nature, but everybody also agrees to become ordained, because we believe that we are called to be the royal priesthood and ordained by God. So there is that aspect too. Thank you for watching.